partner others to increase economic opportunities, says Osibajo. NIMET releases 2020 seasonal rainfall prediction. Cash contribution board. Able Trump support for any back when crucial conducting. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this All News. I'm Izzy Nwafu. Now the details of the news. The federal government has warned state governors not to go on with the rumored increment of right-of-way (ROW) charges, saying it will amount to breaching the 2013 ROW agreement between federal government, states, and the operators. Right-of-way is the permission given to the operators by either the federal, state, or local government councils to open the roads and lay fiber cables that carry internet traffic. Federal government made its feelings known through the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Ibrahim Pantami. Pantami says that the federal government is really dismayed at the decision. Pantami, in the company of the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, are also at the weekend held a meeting with the Chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum and Governor of Ekiti State, Fayemi Kayode, in Abuja to trash out grey areas on the issue which has undermined deployments of ubiquitous broadband in Nigeria. Recall that in 2013, National Economic Council (NEC) set up a committee comprising state governors and ministers to review the issues of multiple taxation in the telecommunications industry in Nigeria and its impact. The committee, after its extensive and wide-ranging consultations, resolved to harmonize the taxes applicable to broadband-related activities and streamline the taxation management processes across the Federation. Specifically, to deepen broadband penetration for the social and economic development of the country, the committee agreed to the Uniform Right-of-Way (ROW) charge of 145 naira per linear meter of fiber. Vice President Yemi Osibajo says that Nigeria will be happy to work closely with other countries that share similar socio-economic objectives to increase economic opportunities and healthcare delivery to citizens. Osibajo said this yesterday when he received on a courtesy visit to the presidential villa, Secretary General of the D8 Organization for Economic Cooperation, Ambassador Dr. Jafar Kushari, who thanked Nigeria for hosting the Secretariat of the D8 Health and Social Protection Program, said implementing programs on health and poverty alleviation is key to the agenda of the organization. African Development Bank President Akinwumi Adesina has urged the United Kingdom to engage Africa in a partnership of change as the continent is on the cusp of unmatched economic transformation. Adesina gave the charge in a keynote address at a UK parliamentary symposium. He said that the Africa of the 21st century is very different. The Africa of the 21st century is new and more confident, he said. The symposium was co-organized by the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Africa with the Royal African Society, Oxford Brookes University, and the Trade Justice Network under the theme UK-Africa Trade and Brexit. The bank's chief argued that Africa and the UK should be significant trading partners. The decline in UK trade and investment in Africa is against the backdrop of projected business-to-business and consumer-to-consumer expenditures of $5.6 trillion by 2020 and a food and agriculture market worth $1 trillion by 2030. President Adesina used his engagement at the House of Commons to share Africa's investment opportunities. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to access to affordable health care and social protection to member states of the developing D8 countries. Minister of State Foreign Affairs Zubairu Dada gave the assurance in Abuja yesterday during the signing of the headquarters country partnership agreement for D8 Health and Social Protection Program Office. Dada expressed gratitude to D8 member countries for the honor bestowed on Nigeria to host the program office of D8 Health and Social Protection Program, as well as the appointment of Dr. Adel Muhammad as director of the establishment. Dada said health and social protection programs are critical tools in achieving the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The minister, however, noted that climate change has acted as an impediment to the developmental agenda of D8 member countries and citizens. Dada said that member states should do more by investing in human capital to realize the Sustainable Development Goals. A medical foundation and eye hospital in Nigeria, the Tulsi Changwan Foundation (TCF), has raised the alarm over the rising incidences of glaucoma and other eye diseases in the country, stating that Nigeria accounts for 50% of glaucoma cases in Africa. Addressing newsmen in Abuja weekend, the foundation also stated that Nigeria holds the record for the largest number of patients with eye cases in Africa, emphasizing the need for glaucoma care pathways for early detection and treatment to prevent blindness. Spokesperson for the TCF, Dr. Deepa Kumar, said it is estimated that 1.1 to 1.4 million adults in Nigeria have glaucoma, most of whom are not aware that they have the disease. He noted that the high prevalence and high rate of blindness confirmed glaucoma to be of public health importance and should become a priority among healthcare planners and policymakers. He said that 50% of glaucoma cases in Africa are from Nigeria and 8% of glaucoma cases were secondary, with over half of these following procedures for cataract, particularly couching, which is still widely practiced in Nigeria despite very poor vision outcomes. The governors of the southwest region of the country recently launched a security network outfit known as Amoticon to tackle the security challenges facing the region. However, the Ebonyi State government claims that Operation Amoticon was the brainchild of the Southeast Governors Forum under the leadership of Governor David Umahi. In this report, Ebonyi State MCLtv correspondent Ejike Ikele takes a look at the issue of security in Ebonyi State. The report.
United Nations has described Nigerian crime as patchy and divergent, with many crimes going unreported. However, statistics shows that Southeast is not among the safest cities in the world. In Ebonyi State, for instance, the special advisor to Ebonyi State Governor on Internal Security, Mr. Moba Onyekachi, has announced that Ebonyi State clearly has the lowest crime rates in the country, emphasizing that the state has recruited its own security agencies to help in tackling crime.
The governor quickly approved it with a huge amount of money that people should come for the training and should be paid very well. We are doing this because today we can count Ebonyi State as one of the most crime-free states among the 36 states in the Federation.
Security experts say many crime goes unreported in Nigeria because of distrust in police, lack of police presence on ground, and general feeling that reporting a crime will be unlikely to lead to redress. Meanwhile, the Deputy State Commander, Ebonyi State National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Mr. Mohammed Basil, said that crime and drug-related matters is on the...
Like from January to October this year, we arrested over 200 drug traffickers, not just users, traffickers, and we have the cases going on in court. I think this year alone, I think we've secured about 35 convictions of drug offenders.
The Commandant, Ebonyi State Security and Civil Defense Corps, Mrs. Lucy Samuel, said that crime activities are sabotaging the efforts of the state government.
The people you see here were apprehended by people who are posted at the international markets, where the government is doing the work, international markets, where they say they are working there, which is not true. And my men at the night, that work in the night, apprehended them when they were vandalizing the cables. look at the good work the governor is doing in the state, and they're sabotaging the effort of his work.
In tackling crime in Ebonyi State, the Ebonyi State Commissioner for Internal Security, Mr. Stanley Okoro Emera, has ejected men of Nigerian police for the accommodation given to them by the state government at Liberation Estate for incompetence, noting that the accommodation was given to them to live in and carry out their duties, which they have failed to do. I am Ejike Ikele, MCLtv News.
In order to reduce the spate of unauthorized change of names and exam centers, the Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, CHAMB, Professor Ishak Oloyede, has cautioned candidates against releasing their passwords to anyone, not even their parents, saying that parents have also been found to be among scammers. He said lack of knowledge and information has led to change in codes, passwords, and centers which were never captured in the board's database, which later serve as impediments to the release of results. He emphasized, especially to banks, that there is no going back on the National Identification Number (NIN) in the 2020 sale of the UTME forms, as some banks argued that it could be a necessity in the registration process. Oloyede stated this on Tuesday during a stakeholders' deliberation at the premises of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC), when the board, in partnership with NSCDC, reiterated that the price of the 2020 UTME forms remains 4,000 naira, as the board has urged candidates and parents to beware extortion. Still to come on the news, Boko Haram, United Kingdom reacts to execution of CAN chairman Andini. US records first case of coronavirus. Nigeria Professional Football League moves 20 places to 57 in global rankings. Details after the break. Do stay with us.
Our esteemed viewer, thanks for your patronage of our programs and services, for which we say thank you. We remind you that at all times you have the right to quality broadcasting. It belongs to you, as well as the right to lodge complaints on broadcast materials or conduct of any broadcast station. MCLtv is open and receptive to your commendations, complaints, and criticisms, as such comments strengthen and make us serve you better. Feel free at all times to address your reactions to National Broadcasting Commission, Enugu Zonal Office, Current Drive, Independent Layout, Enugu. You can email us at mbcenuguzone@yahoo.com or Modern Communications Limited, number 9B Obibo Avenue, Aba. MCLtv, the world in your home.
Alright, I'll get back to you. Welcome.
We are here for the results.
Wow, the lab results.
Yes.
Okay. Where is this man? She has malaria.
Malaria?
Yes.
What do you think should be prescribed for?
We prescribe Casimir tablet.
Casimir tablet?
Yes, Casimir tablet.
Casimir tablets get at letter and lumefantrine for inside. Casimir tablets now Maxim Laboratories Private Limited for India. They make them, but na Grace-based pharmacy and store limited. And then they distribute Casimir tablets for here. Casimir tablets get NAFDAC approval for take fight malaria, come out your family.
Casimir tablets, now correct anti-malaria.
Casimir tablets, it dey stop every malaria.
Mommy, mosquito is biting me.
But I asked you to use Top Rank insecticide.
Top Rank insecticide kills mosquitoes, cockroach, flies, and every other crawling and flying insects faster anywhere around you. NAFDAC approves Top Rank insecticide for its effectiveness. Use Top Rank insecticide and enjoy a peaceful night rest. Available in all shops and supermarkets near you in 600ml can and 300ml can. Top Rank insecticide is marketed nationwide by C Success Multi Services Limited. Telephone 0813-111-2348 or 090-960-22577. Top Rank insecticide. What's worth doing is worth doing well.
You're welcome back. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, on Tuesday released 2020 seasonal rainfall prediction (SRP) report to guide various sectors of the country. The agency predicted in the SRP report in Abuja that the onset of the growing season is expected to be near normal to earlier than normal in most parts of the country. It forecasts earliest onset dates likely to occur on February 24th around coastal zone of south-southeast, while Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Jigawa, Yobe, and Borno are likely to have their onset from June 2nd. The Met says that a normal to above normal rainfall is expected generally in the country. The agency envisaged total rainfall amounts to be 400 millimeters in the north and about 3,000 millimeters in the south. It further predicted rainfall events that could be enormous and tend to give a false start of the season before full establishment of the onset of planting season over various ecological zones. Farmers should therefore avoid early planting during this period to avoid losses, it said. NIMET further forecast a severe dry spell that might last up to 10 to 21 days in the following states: Niger, Bauchi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kano, Kebbi, Yobe, and Borno in the months of June and July. The agency said that such dry spell may last between 2 to 3 weeks after the onset. NIMET urged farmers to adopt soil moisture conservation techniques to avoid crop losses during the period. The United Kingdom government has condemned the murder of Reverend Lawan Andimi by Boko Haram. The UK reacted through its acting High Commissioner in Nigeria, Gil Atkinson. The UK in Nigeria Twitter handle tweeted, "I utterly condemn such an awful crime and offer my deepest sympathy to his family and congregation." Boko Haram said it executed Lawan Andimi on Monday afternoon, weeks after he was declared missing on January 3rd, 2020. Andimi was abducted by Boko Haram when they attacked Michika on January. Initially, he was declared missing but later appeared in a video released by Boko Haram, wherein he pleaded with authorities to secure his release. Michika and some other areas in northeastern Nigeria has been repeatedly attacked by Boko Haram. And on the foreign scene, the new coronavirus, which originated in China recently, has found its way to the United States, according to health officials. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, confirmed the development in a statement on its website on Tuesday. It said the virus had been diagnosed in a traveler who arrived in Washington on January 15th from the Chinese city of Wuhan, where it broke out in December. At least 6 people have been reported dead from the virus and almost 300 others infected in China. Originally thought to be spreading from animals to humans, there are growing indications that limited person-to-person spread is happening, according to the CDC. And now sports. Chief Executive Officer of Muni Mitchell, A.B. Ewe, has moved to support Eyimba ahead of their all-important home clash against Moroccan side Hassania Agada in the CAF Confederation Cup billed for this weekend. Eyimba will need a win to brighten their chances of coming out of the group stage and qualifying for the quarterfinals of the tournament. Ewe, whose outfit constructed the Eyimba Stadium turf, disclosed yesterday that he will, as usual, move in to maintain the turf at no cost to the club, even as he further disclosed that he will also be fixing a brand new goalpost net for the game against Agadir. Ewe tipped Eyimba to go far in the tournament, insisting that the club's new head coach, Fatai Osho, has what it takes to deliver. He was quick to add that the club has got in Felix Anyasiago, a chairman who stops at nothing to get results. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, the Nigeria Professional Football League has moved up 20 places and ranks the 57th best league in the 2019 rankings for national leagues across the world. The MPFL was ranked 77th in the 2018 ranking. They are ranked 8th in Africa behind Tunisia 15, Morocco 17, Egypt 30, Congo DR 35, Angola 44, South Africa 50, Zambia 55. In the year under review, Nigeria's only representatives, Enugu Rangers, failed to make it beyond the group stage of the 2018 and 2019 Confederations Cup. Lobby Stars also crashed out in the group stage of the season's Champions League. Top of the list are the English Premier League, who are ahead of the Brazilian League, La Liga, Serie A, and the Colombian League, who make up the top 5 leagues. Meanwhile, chairman of the League Management Committee, Shehu Diko, is elated by the progress of the MPFL. And to end the news, a look at our major stories. The federal government has warned state governors not to go on with the rumored increment of right-of-way charges, saying it will amount to breaching the 2013 ROW agreement between federal government, states, and the operators. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says that Nigeria will be happy to work closely with other countries that share similar socio-economic objectives to increase economic opportunities and healthcare delivery to citizens. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, on Tuesday released 2020 seasonal rainfall prediction (SRP) reports to guide various sectors of the country. Chief Executive Officer of Morning Mitchell, Ebi Ewe, has moved to support Enyimba ahead of their all-important home clash against Moroccan side Hassania Agadir in the CAF Confederation Cup billed for this weekend. That was the news. Thanks for watching. Please do join us again by 8 a.m. for Good Morning Avia. I am Izzy Nwafo. Once again, good morning.
MCL, the world in your home.
Mgbe mnye chimekele obiye bataraya aga menye ya ekele o mela mgbe menye chimekele chara manya